I think, and I swear to you, like, I was really hard-pressed. I don't like to engage in hyperbole, so I actually had to kind of sleep on this one for a little bit, because I was so mad, and I don't like to throw out terms like worst movie ever, or like worst movie I've ever seen, at least not without thinking about it for a little bit. Like, believe it or not, I'm not one of those reactionary types who like has a new worst movie ever every week. Like, I'll classify it like worst horror movie I've ever seen, but like, I was really hard pressed to come up with a worse movie that I'd ever seen than Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen, because it's worse than Transformers. And you just think about that for a second. It's worse than Transformers. If you dared me to film something that might possibly be more annoying, I can't do it. So, like, what I started doing was, I'm kind of an aficionado. Me and Miles, we kind of collect bad movies. And so, I thought what I would do is I would collect a handful of movies, and he would collect a handful of movies, and we would try to judge, and at least justify, whether or not these movies are worse than Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen, better or worse. So, like, this is a little game we're going to play, is Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen better or worse than these movies? And I'm going to start with Troll 2. Is Transformers better or worse than Troll 2?
Transformers is worse than Troll 2, because I love just the mockery value of just the hammy acting and the poor, just the ludicrous, goofy script qualities. I mean, you could just look at the scene going, they're eating her, and then they're going to eat me.
See, okay, you're going for cheesiness value. All right, yes, I'll buy that.
I can laugh at cheesiness for that, so...
I would say that, that's a tough one. All right, you go ahead.
Well, I guess I'll start with... Actually, it'll be a twofer, but it'll be a Michael Bay kind of double feature. First is going to be Bad Boys 2.
Oh, you're pulling Michael Bay on Michael Bay.
I'm pulling Michael Bay on Michael Bay.
I would rather watch Bad Boys 2 any day of the week.
I would rather watch Bad Boys 2 also. Just because they're offensive, but at least they're kind of funny offensive, and it's still good action. Like, it's also long. It's 2 hours and 30 minutes.
That's my other complaint, is that movie is just about as long. But there's a part of me that would rather watch Martin Lawrence and Will Smith run around doing crimes and shooting bitches than all the Transformers. Because at least, it's tough though.
But I'll give you another Michael Bay ethic, and we just brought it up, was Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor?
And I would rather watch Transformers 2 than watch Pearl Harbor.
That's tough, because I haven't actually seen Pearl Harbor all the way through. But that movie was fucking brutal. Believe it or not, I would probably watch Pearl Harbor before Transformers.
You have not seen all of Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, I think World War II just started. I'm going to leave that one up to you guys. Okay, next one. This is a tough one, because I actually rated this as one of the worst movies I'd ever seen in my life. Alone in the Dark, an Uwe Boll masterpiece.
Alone in the Dark?
Yes, Alone in the Dark.
That's another one that I can turn on the Uwe Boll commentary track and just laugh at Uwe Boll, who's just completely out of his mind.
Yeah, it's tough when you're judging bad movies, because now we're talking about riffability here, like how much fun can you make of this movie?
I always put it in like 2 categories: so bad it's good, and just so bad you want to claw your eyes out.
Yeah, I kind of go with how much this movie hurts. This movie hurts a lot, but it's also really funny, and it's great for one of those B-movie nights. And plus, you're kind of getting 2 movies in one, because the commentary for Uwe Boll movies alone are worth the price of admission. They really are, because this guy's out of his fucking mind.
Exactly. Okay, topical, Twilight.
Yeah, I knew you were going there.
We have to go there.
Probably the toughest one, and this is going to surprise you, but I would rather watch Twilight than Transformers. Yeah, and I'll tell you why. And this is going to be a criteria that's gonna be really hard to top. For basically any movie you can show me, I'm going to point to running time for this movie. Transformers about 2.5 hours long. Twilight, I doubt, is longer than 2 hours. And if you're gonna ask me, like, would you rather have a hot poker shoved into your balls for 2.5 hours or 2? I wouldn't enjoy either, but I'll take less time.
It's how long it feels, though, and to me, Twilight, nothing happens at all.
Well, nothing happens in Transformers.
You see Edward looking longingly into Bella's eyes and saying, "I love you," and she goes, "No, I love you more," and he goes, "No, I love you like 10 times more."
You're like my own personal heroine. Hang on a second. I'm gonna change the tape. We're running out of tape. I'll be right back. All right, we're back. We're still playing better. Is this movie better or worse than Transformers 2? I'll do next. I think I know where you're going to come down on this one. This is one of my personal pet peeves. This movie made me angrier, I think, than I think I've ever been at any movie ever, just in terms of sheer rip-offedness. Aragon.
Oh, God.
Aragon better or worse than Transformers? Yeah.
You know what? I'd almost want to watch Transformers. You know, I know it's not as offensive as Aragon is not as offensive as Transformers 2, but the acting in that movie, and the fact that they do rip off stuff, I'm almost more offended that they rip off everything and instead of trying to do something different. At least Michael Bay, he's an asshole, but at least he's an original asshole.
I'm gonna stun you and say I would rather watch Aragon twice.
Oh, God.
Why? Because it rips off Star Wars and it rips off Lord of the Rings, and as blatant as that sounds, you're ripping off some pretty good shit. So I would rather watch like a filtered Lord of the Rings than Star Wars at 103 minutes long, twice, then watch Transformers 2.5 hours. I'm going running time again.
Here comes one of my personal low points in my life was Batman and Robin.
Batman and Robin. What do you think?
I would rather watch Transformers 2 because Batman and Robin, it's no secret that it's one of my worst movies. Just from a fan point of view, I'm a huge Batman fan, so having them go back to the campy, goofy Adam West 60s Batman, it really pissed me off.
I'm going running time again. Batman and Robin is way shorter, and this one, Batman and Robin did not hurt as much as Transformers did for me.
You're Chris O'Donnell whining.
But
I'm not as big as Batman.
I would rather take the 10 minutes Chris O'Donnell spends whining in that movie than the 2 hours Shia LaBeouf spends whining in Transformers. I'm sorry, I really would. It's worse than Batman and Robin. I'm gonna go, oh, that's bad. I'm gonna go with what many people consider to be the worst movie of all time. Wrongly so, but Manos, The Hands of Fate.
See, this is hard for me to go because I've only seen it with the Mystery Science Theater treatment.
I've seen it without. This is my official unriffed copy.
So, you know, it's kind of... It almost disqualifies me because I haven't seen it unriffed, but I would almost have to say... I guess Manos, just...
Manos is what, better?
Better, just because it's shorter, like you said.
Yeah. Manos is 69 minutes long. That's a little over an hour. You can grit your teeth and suffer through Manos. It probably will seem twice as long, but that's still 2 hours. That's still not 2.5 hours of Transformers. I gotta go with Manos, because at the very least, like, even if you're watching it, the unriffed version, you can kind of play it back in your head. Like, you can kind of escape to a faraway land and imagine you're watching the Mystery Science Theater version.
I almost know it by heart, so I can almost riff on it without the MSD commentary.
Like, you could start thinking, like, what if I did, like, a theme party of Manos? Like, there's no such escapism in Transformers. You're like, I'm sitting there watching this shitty movie. How much longer is there to go? Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go... You're talking about running time. The Oliver Stone epic, Alexander, the final cut.
I have never seen the final cut, but I have seen the theatrical cut.
You have seen Alexander, though, and it's not that far off.
I've seen the theatrical cut, and I've seen the director's cut, and ironically enough, the version you showed me is the final cut, which I don't actually know what the difference is.
I guess the director's cut wasn't actually the director's cut. It was called the director's cut, and the final cut was Oliver Stone's final attempt to say, "Look, you fucking morons! This is my masterpiece. Please look at it. This is you are so dumb for not appreciating what I do for you. This is my final cut to make you understand."
I honestly, It's not even close. I would rather watch Alexander, because even bad Oliver Stone is light years, and I mean light years better than fucking Michael Bay. And even if you like, I was actually kind of entertained by Alexander. At least I didn't like it that much, but it was okay. And besides that, Rosario Dawson's titties, that elevates it. I'm telling you, that's 1 star. You can kind of suffer through that as long as you're like, Rosario Dawson's titties are coming up any second. Oh.
Titties don't just do it for me.
Titties will elevate it.
Especially since we're looking at Colin Farrell's ass for the 50th time.
It's a nice ass. Come on, you can't. You can do worse. You can do John Turturro.
Yeah, I could.
That's what I'm talking about.
I still got to go for Transformers, though.
Over Oliver Stone. How dare you, sir?
I know.
How dare you?
I'll watch JFK and Penance.
This guy. This is the first time I really disagree with this guy. You picked this one out. It somehow got in my stack. Wing Commander.
Oh my god.
This tops the list of the worst movies I've ever seen. I don't know how exactly I'd rank it, but it's up there. If you've never seen it, don't. I hate to go running time on this one again, and I'm not actually sure how long it goes. I don't think it says, but it can't be that long. It's got to be one of your standard 90-minute movies. Yeah. Something like that. But Wing Commander, do you think better or worse than Transformers? I'm not going to go running time on this one. I'm going to, purely on its merits. Whew. I would shoot myself. Like, if you made me choose.
I'd rather watch Transformers because Shia LaBeouf doesn't hold a candle to the double feature that is Freddie Prinze Jr. and Matthew Lillard trying to out-CW themselves in Teen Wangst.
I think we actually talked about this very briefly last night. I'm gonna turn on this one. I'm gonna say I would rather watch Wing Commander than Transformers, and one reason why. It has what's his name? The guy from Das Boot.
God, you just put me on the spot here.
I know.
Jürgen Prochnow.
Jürgen Prochnow. It has Jürgen Prochnow as the captain in it, and if you kind of squint and do a lot of mescaline, you can kind of pretend that you're watching Das Boot.
That's a lot of mescaline.
Yeah, and it's shorter, and it's got Jürgen Prochnow, and you can kind of pretend he's a submarine captain. I'm out of movies.
That's a stretch. Battlefield Earth.
Oh.
Yes.
But
the Thetans control you.
They're just about the same length too, aren't they?
No, it feels longer, but it's like 2 hours, a little over 2 hours.
119. It's not even 2 hours.
It's not even 2. How? See,
Can you believe that?
Even in my mind, it has it over 2 hours.
None of you have probably seen Battlefield Earth. I have twice. That movie seems like 3 hours long. I swear to you, it does. I would.
The Dutch angles, everything's at an angle.
I would probably watch Transformers over Battlefield Earth.
I would probably watch it also.
Just in terms of sheer tradecraft in the direct. I don't know who they got to direct Battlefield Earth, but that guy. The Dutch. You know what a Dutch angle is? Literally every shot in Battlefield Earth, every one is like this.
I'm running on the bed.
It's the Dutch angle is when you tilt your camera sideways and film everything like that. I'm not exaggerating.
The entire movie is shot in Dutch angles. And
it's and not only talking about the batshit insanity of Scientology, I'm not even going there, but it's like Travolta at his worst. Yeah, I'd watch Transformers. Because at least the special effects in that movie are somewhat effective.
But almost
somewhat. It's close.
I know.